Hi there, everybody, and welcome to the last week here at the Weston Cultural Center with me, Stephen Robertson, in the tune-in program for the bass course. I hope you all have been enjoying the course so far. I've been having an absolute pleasure teaching all of you. It's been a real honor. And today we're going to be working on the major and major blues scale. So, of course, if you have any confusion or any issues with any of the past lessons, make sure you go back and do those ones. This last lesson is very advanced, and all the past lessons in terms of technique and other scales are going to lead you up to this moment. So please, if you have any issues or have any experience with having issues with your pinky, which is the big one that I find a lot of people have issues with, go back and see those lessons. And if not, if you're still here and you're ready to go, let's jump in. Now, last week we touched on the minor blues scale, and the week before that, the minor scale. Now we're going to go and do the opposite with the major, and the major blues scale. Now I will say, there is a cheat around for the major blues scale, which will make it easier for you guys, and we're going to focus on that one. But apart from that, let's go to the major scale for A. Now we're all going to be focusing on the two areas here on the 5th fret of the E string and the 12th fret of the A string. The A major scale can't exactly be done in open due to its position in notes. You will see that actually quite soon as to why we're not doing it up there. And so we're going to be focusing right here for right now. So please, as I say, a lot of pinky work here. If you have any issues with your pinky or you find that it gets sore really quick, take it easy or go back and practice some more exercises before you touch on this lesson. But apart from that, let's kick in. So this is going to be a bit odd. We're going to put our second finger on the 5th fret. Now, why the second finger? A lot of the time that when we've been doing scales so far, I've been asking you guys to put your first finger on the A. So why this? Well, you're going to see. So after you put your second finger on the 5th fret of E, being the A note, we're then going to take our pinky and place it on the 7th of the E string. You're probably catching on now why. Now we're going to take our first finger and take it straight to the 4th fret of the A. After that, we're going to head and go straight for the 5th fret with our second finger. Then we're going to take our pinky and put it to the 7th of the A string. Take our first and put it to the 4th fret of the D string. Now, this is where the major scale is very interesting. It doesn't follow that similar pattern as the minor scale, which is reason being right here. We're going to put, instead of our second finger on the 5th fret like we just did on the A string, we're actually going to put it on put our third finger on the 6th fret of the D string. And then finally, to finish off, get that octave, the D, or our pinky, I should say, on the A note. So let me play it all the way through for you guys, so you guys get an understanding of what we just done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now actually, let's go ahead and compare that in terms of tone to the minor scale. So minor scale was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You can already tell that there is a significant tone difference in brightness in the notes. So to give you an idea as to why that is, think of it this way. Whenever you hear a major key or major scale, it's happy, it's bright. All the good stuff is in that song. So a lot of times you hear really happy, go-uppy songs, it's probably in the A key. Or, sorry, not A key, major key. If it's sad songs, especially a sad pop song nowadays, you'll find that a lot of those songs are in minor keys, especially classic rock songs like we covered last lesson with Crossroads by Cream. A lot of classic rock and classic blues songs were in minor. But now let's go ahead and shift this major position up to the 12th fret of A. This is where you're going to see why I'm not doing it up here. So, second finger on the 12th fret of A. Pinky on the 14th fret of A. Now, first finger on the 11th fret of D. Now, this is why you can't exactly do it up on the open strings because you'd actually have to detune the guitar to actually reach this note for it to be up here. So we're not exactly going to do that. We're going to stay in standard. Now next, of course, second finger on 12th fret of D, pinky on the 14th fret of D, first finger on the 11th fret of G, third finger on the 13th fret of G, and then finally pinky on the 14th fret of G. Let's go ahead there and now speed up, and I'll show you what we've just done there in a little bit of faster speed. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't make that mistake. What I've done there is, and what many of you may encounter, is actually go ahead and mistaking this fretting for that fretting. That's a common mistake, and I just wanted to show you guys that one. So let's start over to make sure you guys don't get that mistake as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go. Now let's go in reverse. Pinky, third finger, first finger, pinky, second finger, first finger, pinky, second. Now let's go in reverse and actually head back to the A on the E there on the 5th fret. So head back up here to our low A. Nice to have you back, old buddy. Now let's go in reverse. So of course we're going to put our pinky on the 7th fret of the D string. Let's get into it. So pinky, third, first, pinky, second, first, pinky, third. So there we have the major scale in reverse. Now technically you could play it up on here, and I will demonstrate to you, but do know a lot of the time you're going to do major scales, you're not exactly going to be going up here, especially for beginners. So now we're going to do it up here at the more difficult section of the guitar on the neck. So let's of course go very slowly and make sure that we don't make any mistakes, because this part, especially with this scale, can be very confusing. And I'll point that out why in a second here. So of course, second finger on the 7th fret of the D, pinky on the 9th, first finger on the 6th fret of the G string, second finger on the 7th fret of the G string, pinky on the 9th fret of the G string. Now, you remember that I gave you that specific spread when it came to the minor scale. We're going to be ignoring that because now we're going to go here, which is our first finger on the 11th fret of the G string. We're now going to put our third finger on the 13th fret of the G string. And then we're going to get, of course, our 8th octave and with the pinky on the 14th. Let's go in reverse real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You could definitely see the difference there. So our main difference was instead of going from right there and having to go here, we were going. So make sure when you're doing the minor, you don't make that mistake either, and you don't confuse the minor for doing the major in terms of note skip. Now, let's go to the major blues. Now, I'm going to show you why we're going to do it in a very simple method, because it is very, very exhausting on the fingers for doing this specific way. So I'm going to do it for you just so you understand. Yeah, let me just walk you through exactly what I just did there, because you see there's a big spread. So 1, second finger on the 5th fret, pinky on the 7th, and here's when that big skip comes in, which I don't like and why I'm going to avoid this one for you guys. But if you're interested in really practicing your finger spread and especially exercising your pinky, good job. You're a beast for even trying to attempt this. First finger on the 3rd fret of the A. Weird note, right? Then we're going to go second finger on the 4th fret of the A. So now it's. Then we're going to take our pinky and spread it all the way to the 7th fret of the A. So we're going to do this jump. And then we're going to take our first finger and put it on the 4th fret of the D, and put our pinky on the 7th fret of the D. Yeah, not exactly that great. Let me do it in reverse so you guys can see this in a slower method in reverse. Not exactly that fun. So let me show you the better way of doing this. So we're going to go first finger here on the 5. We're going to go 3rd finger here with the 3rd on the 7th fret of the E. And now one thing you could do is go slide up to the 8th and then go to the 9th. Or you can do it in a more practical method, which is this way. First finger, so first finger on the 5th, first finger on the 7th, second finger on the 8th, 3rd finger on the 9th, first finger on the 7th of the D of the A string, 3rd finger on the 9th fret of the A string as well, and then finally finishing off with the first finger on the 7th fret of the D string. So in total you have this. And then you can go in reverse. Make sure you don't do that mistake there, because it's different than doing a minor scale, and so you don't want to do that. So let me just correct that. As you can see, we're mainly using these 3 fingers because we're not having to worry about the pinky. But if you want to, you could do this just to exercise the pinky. Now let's take this scale and move it up to the 12th fret on the A. So let's get there. So now we're going to do first finger on the 12th fret. And we're now going to slide it up to the 14th fret of the A. Second finger on the 15th. And then finally, 3rd fret on the 16th. First finger on the 14th fret of the D. 3rd finger on the 16th fret of the D. And then finally, first finger on the 14th fret of the G. In reverse, we now have this. So example, if you want to have some little fun with this, as well as it being a pentatonic and solo scale, you could do. So it's just doing that scale and a little funky little rhythm going upwards. And then you could do. And then back up. Let me lay that slowly for you guys can follow along. So, once again. Now I'm doing a little flavor thing. It's just keeping that 3rd finger down there, but you don't have to do that. And so that's the major blues scale. Now technically we could play it all the way up here as well. So let's go ahead and do that. So open A. We're going to do 2nd finger on the 2nd fret of the A, 3rd finger on the 3rd, pinky on the 4th. We're going to do 2nd finger on the 2nd fret of the D, pinky on the 4th, and then we're going to put our 2nd finger on the 2nd fret of the G. Let's go in reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There you go. I'll speed it up just one more time so you guys get it. And so that's the major blues scale. Now you can take this scale and play it anywhere as well on any of the other notes in the fretboard. Of course, some are easier to do, some aren't. But it's up to you guys to now take that knowledge and also go ahead and experiment. Find what riffs you can make out of these scales. Remember, the minor blues scale. Make riffs out of that. And just like I did down here, if you want to be funky. Same scale pattern, but I've just done ahead and put on the 1st, the 4th, and the 5th of the A major scale there. So you can have lots of fun with these scales. You guys can go ahead and solo to your heart's content with all the backing tracks there online. So remember, these lessons are always here to guide you and also to reinforce the basics of bass guitar and how to play it. Of course, if you have any other questions and are even confused at some points, you're always welcome to come down to tune in here at the West End Cultural Center, because I will be here and I will also be teaching bass in person when that happens. So if any questions, you can always come down, talk to me, and I'll be willing to show you or even answer any of your questions. And hey, if you have a specific song you want to learn, I'm always good to do that. But of course, try learning yourself. All these lessons are here for you guys to go ahead and learn. So try it. Who knows? You may be the next Prodigy, the next Flea, the next Geddy Lee, the next Primus. Who knows? Maybe the next Jacko, if you even know who Jaco Pastorius is. But that's for something else. Anyway, guys, I really hope you have enjoyed these lessons. I've had a whale of a time doing so. It's always okay to make mistakes, as you've seen this in these lessons. Mistakes always guide you to becoming better because you know where you messed up and showing others to not make those mistakes. So remember, if you make mistakes, it's always good. And so that will be all from me. Once again, here with the West End Cultural Center in the Tune-In program, it's me, Stephen Robertson. I hope you have all learned a lot from this. And remember, keep rocking and don't worry about mistakes. We all learn from them. Have a good time, folks. Take care and rock on.